And good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with your Sensie Owl Bob, this guy right here. And don't believe a word he says. Well, I haven't really been, um, haven't done a show in a while, a couple of days. And that's because, limited resources. I can't just go to any restaurant and do it anymore. Um, and semi-repetitive, you know. I just keep going on about what's going on, and in a way that most media and YouTube channels don't really. Um, so I was in church the other day. Today's Monday, I guess it was yesterday, Sunday. Uh, Farting, burping, shitting, pissing. Not so much vomiting, but those things are regurgitating not so bad. I see why cows do it, because you can have a meal over again and over again, right? Until you're bringing this stuff up from your stomach, then it's not so tasty, right? Then it's, um, you know, kind of acidic. Anyway, I digress, which I do all the time. I'm a big fan of digression, you know, not duality, right? So, I go to three different churches: a Ku Klux Klan Baptist church, Southern Baptist church, a Methodist church, the We Own Everything Methodist church, and the um, pagan Roman Catholics, right? Uh, so, and every time I go to and I really just go to the Bible studies. I don't really join their ceremonies because that would be being a hypocrite, right? Wearing two masks, wearing a mask. Now, I don't, I speak of my feeling for God and Jesus and Spirit. Um, and it's this attitude of monotheism, right? So at the Klan Baptist Revisionist Church, those people are very nice. Really, really, really. I mean, they haven't strung me up or tried to put me on a cross or set me on fire. Because once they kind of learned who I was, well, this guy's pretty good. I can go talk to him about stuff. And he doesn't tell anybody about what I just told him. And after I talk to him for a little bit, I actually feel better. I feel better than I do. Listen to Larry talk about Jesus and what sinners we are, and we're all going to hell. Yeah, I don't feel good about that. And so, whenever I'm there and Larry is teaching, this guy Larry, and that's not his name. I don't know if you've noticed, but every male that has a Y at the end of its first name, Larry, Billy, Kenny, Mikey, Joey, Timmy, right? South Park, Kenny dies every episode. They killed Kenny, right? They don't say they killed Kenneth. Now I know Kenneth, right? And they don't want to be called Kenny. I know Lawrence's. They don't want to be called Larry, right? You didn't get Lawrence of Arabia. They didn't say, "Hey, Larry of Arabia." They didn't say that, right? So that Y thing, I haven't quite picked up on what thing is about women. There seems to not be a trope of that nature for women. Um, but women, I get humans. There's only one, race. There is only one race. It's called the human race, right? And people who are black or yellow or red or green or polka dotted, those are just elements of the pigment of their skin. It has nothing to do whether they're a human being or not, right? and to basically cauterize your spirit by calling X, Y, or Z a certain race, and because of that, they're not even human. They're almost human animals. And to turn anyone into the other of that nature. That's like, and here we are, 5 minutes and 32 seconds, and no one's watching. Now, most of you guys who watch this are in another country or even on another planet, right? And there's about 500 people who watch this show. And there's about 100 who actually kind of get a hold of me at the old YouTube. But I don't have access to the internet like I used to, right? My friend, my neighbor, his house got hit by a tree, right? And I told him about it. I said, you should cut those trees. Oh, no, it's got leaves on it. I said, no, it's kind of dying. So the biggest one of those trees that were threatening his house smashed it. And a big snow was heading their way. So they kind of woke up, decided, there's going to be 20 inches of snow. We're never getting out of here. So they basically left in the middle of the night. And a tree fell down it started really snowing hard around 1 o'clock a.m. and just snowed and snowed and snowed and snowed and snowed and snowed and snowed, probably 8 inches before 6 a.m. And around 6 a.m., 7 a.m., I couldn't tell what it was, but I heard this cracking sound and then a crash, right? And that was the tree falling on the house. Not my house, my neighbor's house, which is a quarter mile away. Right? By the way the butterfly flies. By the way you drive, it's more almost a mile. So anyway, he got money from the insurance company, et cetera, et cetera. And I cut all the trees down on my property so they couldn't fall on me, right? And that was 25 years ago. Now those poplars, because I cut all the trees down to poplars that were only about 30 feet, are now about 120 feet because they had super amount of sun to grow, right? And a nice amount of rain. So anyway, but they're still far enough away from me. They probably have to grow another 50 feet tall. So you'd have a 300-foot poplar. It's going to fall down before then. And the trees in my forest are, I'm there all the time. And I'm in solitude. I'm a monk, actually, because I talk to God all the time. Just like this conversation here is a conversation with God, right? All of you folk out there who will watch it in the next whatever day or so, you are that, all our relations, you are the monotheism. What is monotheism, right? If you look at the word mono, meaning one, the only, really, mono e mono, right? The one. And theism, right? Most people would think it's like theology. Well, it's, root. It's the same thing. But theism is basically God, theocracy, right? The. That's like God, right? But it's not God like Jehovah or, Allah or God or any of the, Vishnu. Those are names that people put on the spirit of Thea. Thea is the root of love. So theocracy, monotheism, theocratic, what that really is one love. So all of those religions, love is the foundation of their religion. You look at Islam, its whole thing is love. It's about treating the other person better, meaning you have to give them hospitality. You have to, before you can eat, you have to feed your guest, right? And if some guy stole a loaf of bread from your bakery, right, and he was stealing it not to sell it to somebody else, but to feed his kids, and you took him to court, right? So Islamic court would say, okay, yeah, so he stole. That's not right. But, the base of our whole being is generosity and hospitality. You should have given him two. So, yes, we'll cut off one of his hands, and then we're going to cut off both of yours because you didn't give him a loaf of bread, right? Or you can forgive him, and we'll call it even Steven, right? That's kind of how it went. So we are going off. Everyone is so, like, I was in Walmart today, and I was in my little wagon, and I was leaving, and this woman's talking to this other woman, and they don't stop any of those other people who've got tons of stuff in their wagons. I got a few things, and I got like a sleeping bag, and a pillow, and a lawn chair because they're all on sale. Sleeping bag was $8. Normally it's 30, right? Pillow was $1.50. Normally it's $4. The lawn chair was $3. Normally it's 12. So man, I bought two of everything, right? And that was under $30. That was in my disposable income bracket, right? It's getting towards the end of the month, right? And I just used my card until it said declined. It's like the magic card, right? At this point in time, it's the magic card. And if it says declined, I go, oh, well, I guess I don't need that. So anyway, I'm going out, and I got the chicken I got because Walmart's chicken is pretty good. $6. And you can get a big one for $6 and barbecue sauce. It's all good, right? And I eat that for a week, right? And then I'm like an owl, that's Owl Bob. I kind of chew it up, and then I spit it out in a plastic bag, and then I put that in the fridge, and I then make that into a soup. I like go at it. I take it to the bone, as they say. And anyway, so I'm heading my way, and this lady kind of steps in front of me, right? And she's got the blue vest on, and she stepped away. I'm noticing everything. When I came in, I noticed is to just stand there doing nothing and talking. And so anyway, I just miss. I turned head straight for her to like run her over. And then just before I, because she's gravitationally challenged. And just before I run her over, those things can turn on a dime. And I just keep going. And she goes, sir. And I stop. I go, huh? What? Like, I got these glasses on. I play my part. What? And she goes, let me see your receipt, right? and I'm right in the middle where people are going to exit, right? And she's there, and her buddy was right next to her. And then people started, instead of, going out the outdoor, they're going out the indoor, and the other ones go, no, you have to go out the outdoor. But I'm being stopped by the gravitationally challenged Walmart police. So I go, what? She goes, let me see your receipt. And I said, what? Let me see your receipt. What? Huh? What'd you say? Let me see your receipt. I said, receipt? What's that? Did you get a receipt? And I said, what? She's like, so, the main manager is over there, and I'm watching him, and he's just watching this. And so she goes, that thing you get when you buy it. I said, change back? What? And she goes, no, the paper that gets, I said, oh, yeah, so let me look. And so I basically had it right there because I knew that I always keep it ready, right? And I start looking through all my pockets, and I have the chicken right on my lap. And I open it up and take out the chicken leg and start eating the chicken. I said, sir, did you pay for that? And I said, what? And she goes, the receipt. And I said, oh yeah, this thing. And so I take the receipt out, and my hands are all covered in chicken fat and barbecue sauce, and I use the receipt as a napkin to clean all that crap off my hand, and then I hand it to her and ball it up, right? So she has to take it all apart and get all that gook all over her hands, and she is just losing her shit. And she just wants to make, if he's stolen anything, he's going to jail. And she looked at it all, and it's all right there. And she hands it back to me, and I said, no, I don't want that. And she goes, so I can't keep it. And so I just kind of opened another. I like lean over and get another one of their gray bags and say, here, put it in there. And so she's like, really gets steaming. She goes, do you feel better? I said, yeah, that tasted pretty good. She goes, no. But you crumbled it up. You gave me that dirty receipt. Do you feel better? Are you a man? I said, no, I'm a lesbian. No, I feel like I'm a lesbian. Don't you know what a lesbian is? Aren't you and your friend there? Aren't you? Yeah, I didn't call her. I said, don't you know what a lesbian is? You know. And then I said, my first wife said that I was the best lesbian she ever knew because I could, lick my eyebrows, and and the guy who's the manager, he hasn't gotten involved, but he has gotten close enough to hear what this is going on, and he is like, he's just like smiling and shaking his head because these two girls are obviously a pain in the butt to him, right? She's like, look, he's right there, and she's right. And so the guy, who is black and also gay, right? And so, he got in under diversity, right? He got into the diversity look. And they come out, she brought the Walmart police. Oh my God. Uh-oh. Anyway, so he walked me out and he started laughing and he goes, boy, man, I wish I knew more people like you. I said, well, if you're going to live, you might as well have a good time. And if you're going to run into people like that, you might as well have it on their nickel. And I said, let me read your palm. So I read his palm and I made his day. And I said, what's your name? I got his name. I said, well, whenever I see you, I'm going to like, hey, how you doing? And he goes, it's an honor. And so I went off, right? And now I'm waiting for my doctor appointment. They said it was at 10:40 when I got here. And they said, oh, no, you got to come back in an hour. So I parked under a tree. So anyway, so that was my today's story. And it's, man, all you got to do is look at what's going on between Donald Trump and this Thursday. It's going to be, and he's saying, he wants to get the the martial arts guys to beat up the illegal aliens. Good luck with that. He wants the red states, the governors, to send their National Guards and to become a Trump army, right? I mean, there's a thing called Posse Thomas, where American army cannot serve as police in America, right? That's part of it, right? But our present Supreme Court will probably say, no, that's great. Oh, yeah, everyone. Yeah. So it doesn't matter whether JoJo wins or Donnie Trump. I mean, Donnie Trump is at least amazingly funny. I mean, JoJo is pretty amusing because, when he was over in France, heralding our dead, while he's getting ready to send more of our young people to die for Wall Street, the most decorated guy in World War I was a Marine colonel named Butler, right? And I think he won 2, Medals of Honor, right? Not just one, but 2. and he survived. And once he got out, after being in the military for 40 years, he wrote a book saying, "War is a racket," right? And guys like Prescott Bush and John D. Rockefeller and Mr. Ford tried to get him to be their poster boy because they wanted to have a Nazi pooch similar to Adolf, right? And because America, was very, Donnie's daddy was part of the American Bund, right? And so we were. There was a guy named Father Coughlin on the radio. That every day in the United States, he would have 5 million people listening to him. He was on in the afternoon, like lunchtime and after dinner, right? And spewing hate. Like, you should go Google Father Coughlin, right? And that's Fox News, right? That is all of that right-wing neocon, and that includes MSNBC, C-SPAN, you know, NPR, you name it. All our media is corporate. We live in a fascist country. This is not a democracy. It never was. We were a republic in which it stands, and never was under God. They didn't start putting "In God We Trust" until, it was 1953, right? Let's see. Is anybody watching? One person. Oh, it's AI. I love you, AI. You're my boy. Good puppy. Good puppy. Here, I'm going to throw the ball. Go get it. Go get it, AI. The puppy. Anyway, now there's 3 people watching. That was quick. I wish it would tell me what time it is. Oh, there it is. Let's see, what time is it? Oh, it's 11:22. Well, I got to go in about 10 minutes. So I just wanted to touch base with you because I could. And I'm doing this on my phone, so you may not be able to. I'm going to have to go in and make it public. Every time I do it on the phone, it won't let you see it afterwards, right? And a lot of people who are subscribers don't get notified, right? And that's an interesting thing. Maybe you have to hit that notification button again. I'm not quite sure. I mean, it's really interesting. YouTube lets me say anything. I don't get, stopped or blocked or any of that kind of stuff. I don't really say anything that would be worth blocking, right? And, like I said, about 500 of you guys watch, so it's not like I'm enduring but they don't know that what I'm doing is dropping a shamanic pebble into the World Wide Web pond, and those little vibrations are going out. So we'll end with a prayer. Father, Son, Holy Ghost, hear our prayer. Help us to be conscious intent that in every day and every way we take your piece of the world through your love, your monotheistic love, your agape love, your total presence in our hearts, in our minds, in our actions, and our deeds. And keep this thought nearby, because it allows us to be consciously aware. When we're thinking of God, we're putting this little bubble around us that protects us, right? So, like when I was in Walmart, I was thinking of God and praying, and I wasn't thinking of anything else. So, somebody's actually commenting. Lana, you're back. Hey, sweetheart. I'm gonna go. Because Lana is there, I'm going to. Yep, good to see you too, baby. I can't get my WhatsApp thing to work to call you. All of my stuff is Visigoth, right? Anyway, So I'm gonna go to my doctor's in about 5 minutes. I'm in this parking lot, and then I'm gonna go. I saved my pennies. I'm going to go to a place that has good Wi-Fi, and I can have a meal that I can remember. Not, it's not like great food. It's corporate food. It's the most corporate place. It's a place called um, uh, Grandma's House, or Memory Chain, or something. It's like a corporate thing that basically pushes every button in your subconscious, so you'll just spend money there, right? So it's not real. It's a total. I'll do this. I'll do that.